guys, we are reading a new article from Storyworks. So we've got Storyworks, and today we're going to do a little bit of writing. We're going to write about the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we're going to be analyzing the character Wilma. So Wilma is a character, Wilma Rudolf, that we're going to read about here in this Storyworks story. Let me go back real quick. Here. And I am going to add the link right up here for the Storyworks. So there's the link to get you to the actual Storyworks issue as well, and I'll put that in the directions. I know it'll be yours because it'll be on Google Classroom, so it'll tell me that it's yours, so I don't need you to put your name there. All right, let's read this article. This article is called Go, the amazing story of Wilma Rudolf, the fastest woman in the world. Okay, and it's a play. Okay, so when we have a play, there are some elements that you're going to see. Okay, so first of all, whenever you have a play, you're going to see a list of characters. So these are the people that are going to be in the play. And so the characters are narrators, okay, and a narrator is a person who's just going to give you background information and tell you information. There's going to be Dr. Coleman, Wilma Rudolph, a young girl, Mama, Wilma's mother, Papa, Wilma's father, and then we got to go back up over here. Wesley, Wilma's brother, Yvonne, Wilma's sister, Edward, a classmate, Robert, a classmate, Coach Gray, Wilma's high school coach, Nancy, a teammate, Coach Temple, a college track coach, announcers 1 and announcers 2, and the crowd, okay? So what you're going to notice when we read a play is that you're always going to have a cast of characters at the front, and then a play is divided into scenes. Sometimes you'll even have it divided into acts, okay? So acts are like a bigger chapter. A scene is like a smaller section within that chapter. Okay, so there are acts in plays, and then there are scenes. In this play, we just have scenes. Okay, so we have scene 1. Okay, and then these abbreviations tell which character to talk. So narrator 1, narrator 2, narrator 3, narrator 1, narrator 2. So you're going to have the character's name off to the side. Dr. Coleman, Wilma. And then what you're going to see are the words that those characters will speak. That's called the dialogue, okay, in a play. And we're going to actually read it here in a second. And then you'll see some of this, okay? So inside parentheses, these are called stage directions, okay? So it tells the actor, the person reading the play, how to act. So Wilma is going to talk weakly. She's not going to talk strong. She's not going to talk proud. She's not going to be excited. She's going to talk weakly when she talks. Okay, so it's going to tell us how to act. Okay, so these are stage directions here in parentheses. All right, as I scroll down, I've got lots more characters, lots of stuff that they're going to read, and we'll read those and talk about those. We've got a picture and we've got some caption that we need to read. Then you'll notice here scene 2. Okay, so scene 2, and now we've got the narrators again. And we've got people talking. Then we've got a scene 3. Okay, and narrators. Oh, here's some more stage direction. Robert is shouting, "Told you so!" That's what Robert's shouting. Okay, and Wilma is saying this to herself. So she's going, "Come on, Wilma, push." She's saying that in her head to herself. Okay, Wilma to herself. Okay, this is a real picture. So it's from the past, real picture. And some information here. It's going to help us understand and comprehend the story. We'll read that in a second. Scene 4. And then here's another picture. And then there's scene 6. I guess there was a scene 5 in there that I missed. Okay, another picture. And then an epilogue. Okay, an epilogue is what happens after the fact. It gives you like how everything turned out. You're not going to get as much detail in an epilogue. It's more like an overview. An overview of like, it's like the end of the story, like how everything turned out. Like some books would say happily ever after. Well, what was happily ever after? The epilogue is going to tell you that. Just in a not very detailed way. not as detailed as the rest of the story. Okay, so we're going to go to the top. Sorry, it's going to make you dizzy. There we go. We're going to start reading. All right. Scene 1. Let us take you back to 1944, to a little town in Tennessee called Clarksville. The Rudolf family lives here in a wooden house with no electricity. As the sun goes down, Mama lights candles. 4-year-old Wilma lies in bed shivering, covered in blanket. Dr. Coleman sits at her side. How are you feeling, Wilma? Not good. Wilma has been sickly since the day she was born, but this is something different. Her fever won't go away, and one leg has gone crooked with the foot twisted inward. I'm afraid Wilma has polio. It's a disease that attacks the spinal cord. Is her leg going to stay like that? Time will tell. She should see a specialist in Nashville. So then if we click here, specialist is a doctor who specializes in something, and spinal cord is that bone in your back, the large nerves and bone, and it carries all the messages to the rest of your body about how your body can move. Your spinal cord is what gives that information. That's 50 miles away. They're talking about Nashville. It's the nearest hospital that will treat black patients. Many unfair racist rules at the time make life difficult for black people, like not being allowed to go to the same hospital as white people. If it will help Wilma, then we'll do it. We'll have to save up money for the bus. I must warn you, don't get your hopes up. Wilma may never walk again. Dr. Coleman leaves. Wilma looks up at Mama, her eyes wide. Is it true, Mama? I can't walk anymore? No, sweet girl. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure you can. Okay, so this is a picture, and polio was a real illness, a real disease in the 1950s, 40s, 50s. Okay, and it's a feared disease. In the mid-1900s, polio was feared and deadly disease in America. In 1955, a polio vaccine became available, so children today no longer need to face the struggles that Wilma did. Narrator 1. Now it is 1949. 9-year-old Wilma is on her way home from school. She wears a long metal brace on her leg from her knee down to her shoe. She hobbles behind her brothers and sisters, trying to keep up. Wait for me! Wilma finally reaches home and bursts through the door, panting. Easy now, Wilma. Remember the doctor said you should take it slow. Don't worry, Mama. Those treatments in Nashville are making my legs stronger. I'm glad to hear it. How was school? Kids still look at me funny like there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just different. Sometimes they call me mean names. Don't pay them any mind. And they don't want to play with me because I'm slow. I'm tired of being the sick girl. I just want to be normal. Mama, come look at this drawing I did. Yvonne winks at Wilma. Once Mama is distracted, Wilma slips outside and takes off her brace. She is practicing walking without it. Wilma, don't let Mama catch you without your brace on. Don't you tell her. Wilma walks the length of the porch. Hey, you're getting pretty good at that. Whenever kids tease me, I think to myself, someday I'll show you all. Now we're skipping ahead. That's why we changed the scene. So now we're in 1952. So we jumped ahead several years. In 1952, Wilma feels healthy for the first time in her life. One day she sees a group of boys in a field. This race is going to be down to the big tree and back. 12-year-old Wilma approaches. Can I run too? You want to race us? That's right. Where's your leg brace? I don't need it anymore. You can race, but be prepared to eat dust. We'll see about that. Ready, set, go. Wilma burst ahead, but the boys are faster. Dust flies in her face. Told you so. Come on, Wilma. Push. She pumps her legs harder, passing one boy then another. Wow, she's really flying. Wilma tags the tree and turns back. She catches up to Robert. They match each other stride for stride. No way you're going to win. Watch me. Wilma darts ahead, her long legs churning. That means they're just going real fast, moving quickly in a circular motion. Robert catches up, his fists clenched. Wilma to herself, I can do this. Wilma pulls ahead and finishes first. She collapses onto the ground, laughing. Ooh, winning is fun. I could get used to that. So racist laws from the 1800s to the 1960s, southern states had unfair racist rules called Jim Crow laws. These kept black people separated from white people. Black kids like Wilma had to go to different schools, play in different parks, and drink from different water fountains than white kids. Above, Bailey Copp Elementary School was the only elementary school in Clarksville that Wilma and other black children could attend. Scene 4. Wilma discovers she has a natural talent for running. She joins her high school track team. In every race, she outdoes the competition. In 1956, her team travels to Alabama for a big track meet. Wilma and her teammates warm up. Coach Gray: "Listen up, everyone. The competition will be fierce. The best high school runners in the South are here." Wilma's got nothing to worry about. She's won every race she's ever been in. Wilma smiling: "What can I say? It's true." But the meet turns out to be a disaster for Wilma. She is outrun in nearly every event. Afterwards, in every event, not nearly every one. Afterward, Wilma sits on the empty stands, tears spilling down her cheeks. Coach Gray comes over. "I feel like a fool. How am I ever going to race again? My confidence is gone." "Losing is not the end of the world, Wilma. What matters is how you deal with it." Wilma takes a deep breath. "Coach Ed Temple wants you to train with his college team." "Why? I just lost all those races." "Doesn't matter that you lost. He can see that you're a fighter." Wilma wipes her eyes. "You can choose to be crushed by defeat, or you can pick yourself up and try to win the next race." "You're right, Coach. I've got to train even harder. I'll be back stronger and faster than ever." Racing in Rome. Wilma Rudolf was the shining star of the 1960 Rome Olympics. Olympics! Not only was she super fast, setting one world record and tying another, but the crowds loved her. They went wild whenever she ran. And she had a disease that hurt her legs, and she's still winning in the Olympics. While still in high school, Wilma starts training with Coach Temple and the athletes from Tennessee State University. She practices whenever she can. "Wilma, why weren't you in English class? You promised not to tell?" "I promise. I've been sneaking into the stadium across from the school. I need to work on my sprints. That's the best track in town." One day, Coach Temple pulls her aside. "Wilma, I think you have a chance to run in the Olympics. I want you to come with us to the trials in 2 weeks." "Really? The Olympics?" "Yes, sir, Coach." Coach Temple: "Oh, and Wilma, don't hold back." After the trials, Wilma calls home. "Mama, I made the Olympics relay team." "Oh, Wilma, I'm so proud of you." Imagine me, 16-year-old Wilma Rudolph from Clarksville, Tennessee, going all the way to Australia. How exciting. Not so long ago, I could barely walk. All those trips to the doctor in Nashville paid off. Thank you, Mama. For what? For believing I could get better. Scene 6. Wilma's relay team wins a bronze medal for 3rd place in Australia. Wilma spends the next 4 years training harder than ever. In the 1960 Olympics are held in Rome, Italy. Coach Temple is there with Wilma. Coach Temple: "Wilma, I keep dreaming that you're going to win 3 gold medals here." "I've been dreaming the same thing." Coach Temple: "You'd be the first American woman in track and field history to do that." Days later, Wilma stands at the starting line in a huge stadium with 80,000 fans. In Tennessee, Wilma's family crowds around a neighborhood's small television. It is a swelteringly hot day here in Rome, Italy. Next up is the finals in the women's 100 meter. American Wilma Rudolph is a favorite. Wilma, Wilma, Wilma. She ran like the wind in the qualifying heats, but next to Wilma are the best female sprinters in the world. The athletes crouch down into the starting blocks. The starting gun fires. The women burst from the line. Dorothy Hyman from Great Britain is in the lead. But here comes Wilma Rudolph with fire in her eyes. She is sprinting into the lead. And it's gold for Wilma Rudolph. Hooray, Wilma. She did it. Our baby won gold. From a girl who may never walk again to the fastest woman in the world. There's a picture of Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph retired from running in 1962 and became a teacher and a coach. Throughout her life, she worked to support and train young athletes across the country. She died in 1994. To this day, her life and legacy remain an inspiration to many, especially black and female athletes. Here we are. Wilma Rudolf won 3 gold medals at the Rome Olympics in the 100 meter, 200 meter, and 4x100 meter relay. She became an instant hero worldwide and a role model for young female athletes everywhere. When Wilma returned to Tennessee, there was a parade in her honor. The streets of Clarksville were lined with thousands of people, both black and white. It was the town's first integrated event ever. Wilma waved and smiled at them. Integrated means that black and white people were there together. Wilma waved and smiled at them all. The potential for greatness lives in each of us. Potential means what we can do. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do with this. All right, so on these slides, we're going to answer these questions. Now, I'm going to type it. This won't be on there when you do it, okay? You're going to have to type it in your own words, but I'm going to give you an example. How does Wilma feel when she learns she has polio? Why does she feel this way? And how do her mother's words affect her? Okay, so if we go back to when she first learned she had polio, that was in 1. Sorry. Okay. She was sickly. Wilma was not feeling good. Her fever wouldn't go away. Wilma has polio. Okay. Her leg's crooked. She's going to have to see a specialist in Nashville. They save up money to do it. Is it true, Mama? I can't walk anymore. Wilma looks up and her eyes are wide. That gives me a hint of her feeling. Her mama says, no, we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure you can. So, I would say Wilma was scared. Wide eyes, not feeling good. Wilma didn't feel she had polio and she was scared that she might not ever walk again. Okay, and then why does she feel this way? She felt that way because she had polio. So why did she feel like she went? The doctors, because that's what the doctors told her mom and dad. Okay, but her mom believed in her and said, let's look at exactly what her mom said. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you can. They would do whatever it took to make sure that, whatever. They would do whatever it took to make sure that Wilma could walk again. Okay, so that was the beginning. And how did those words affect her? This gave Wilma hope that she would walk again. Okay, so I should not say one sentence there, right? This is a 3-question part. You need to have more than one sentence. You need to make sure you answer all parts of all those questions. So let's see. How does Wilma feel? Okay, she did not feel good. She was scared. I've got her feelings. Okay, check. Why did she feel this way? Okay, she might not be able to walk again. The doctors told her mom and dad that. She had polio. We answered that. How do her mother's words affect her? Her mom believed in her and said they would do whatever it took to make sure that Wilma could walk again. That gave Wilma hope that she would walk again, okay? So that gave her hope. All right, now, challenges that she faced, okay? So Wilma was made fun of in elementary school. She had to wear, oh goodness, braces on her legs. She had to work hard to learn to walk without the braces. How does she react to these challenges? Wilma never gives up. She pushes herself and keeps practicing and trying to walk and then run. Practicing. Okay. And then in the end, of course, she wins the Olympics. I'm not going to do that one for you. Let's see. What does this tell you about her? Okay, Wilma has perseverance. Okay, that means that, oops, I gotta fix that. She doesn't give up. She has a fighting spirit. That's what the article said. The coach saw that there was fight in her eyes. She had a fighting spirit. Okay, so we just did those two parts together. And I'm going to erase it. You're going to have to do it on yours. But I've done two for you, and I want you to try to do the end on your own. Remember, this is not one or two sentences. This should be several sentences. You've got to answer all those questions. There. Okay. If you need help, you can get on with me, and I will help you. I'm also going to add a page to these slides so that you can see this video. Thanks, guys.